you'll never look at music the same way again.
I think MTV is going to change a lot of kids' attitude.
I live in a town with one pancake house and two banks. And what the hell kind of place is that?
On August 1st, 1981, a TV channel launched that would predominantly broadcast a relatively new concept: the music video. It would change music forever and lead to some of the most significant moments in pop culture. And a lot of crap, to be fair. This is the story of MTV. Robert W. Pittman was one of the men at the forefront of creating MTV. He had an idea when he hosted a 15-minute show called Album Tracks in New York in the late 70s. Pittman's boss, John Lack, had also tried out a show called Pop Clips, created by Mike Naismith from the Monkees. Yep. Not the small one, not the one with the face, it's one of these two. Not sure which one. Naismith was on holiday in New Zealand and saw a show called Radio in Pictures. Music from America and the UK was starting to spread all over the world. Same as the COVID. Music videos did not exist yet, and to see a band on TV meant having to watch a live performance. Since New Zealand was far away, it made reaching its populace there pretty difficult. Same as the COVID. A solution arose when the New Zealand Broadcasting Corporation started working with the record labels. They figured it would work out best for the labels to supply promotional music clips that could be played on air for no charge. Their artists would now get this extra exposure in a remote part of the world without having to go there. The slippy bastards.
Launching MTV.
With the concept stolen by Mike Naismith from the Monkees, all that was left to do was to play music videos 24 hours a day. MTV launched at midnight on August 1st, 1981. Famously, the first video to play on MTV was Video Kill the Radio Star by the Boogaloo. The second was You Better Run by Pat Benatar. Yeah, everyone knows the first song that was played on MTV, but did you know that Pat Benatar was second? Knowledge. The concept of playing videos 24/7 was a new one, and because of this, there was a lot of repeats. In those early days, there were only a few hundred music videos that they had in their system. Surprisingly, MTV didn't attract a lot of advertisers, but was still considered a success.
Come on, make my video.
Music shops noticed stronger sales of songs that weren't getting radio play, but MTV play. The earliest bands to benefit from this were Men at Work, The Human League, and Men Without Hats. Hat. When the ratings were analysed, they found that their target audience of 12 to 34-year-olds watched up to 2 hours per day. This continued to grow and eventually reached unprecedented numbers. Bit like the COVID.
British Invasion.
Everyone knows the Brits love a good invasion, and the first of these featured numerous groups such as the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and you know. But a second British invasion would happen in this new age of video, and it was primarily because of one TV show. Top of the Pops. It was a music show on the BBC that started in 1964 and ran all the way to 2006. The last band to perform on Top of the Pops were Snow Patrol. Did you know that? Ignore the pill dissolving in your drink. The acts would usually lip sync their songs or have a live vocal over a backing track. Rod Stewart is singing live here, for example, but Ronnie Wood is not playing the guitar. I could be wrong. Bands in England were used to having to get on TV and doing a live music video. There would also be pre-recorded clips, and the main thing was that British bands knew how important appearance was and presenting your music and aesthetic in a short time frame. Meanwhile, in the US, bands were doing it the old-fashioned way. Write a great song, record the album, tour, initial success, ego, meltdown, rehab, meltdown, crap second album, dead member, new member no one likes, tour again, remain alive but bloated, late career hit, usually a power ballad, say something deemed racist by current standards, die. But they weren't used to having to appear on TV, and there was no concept of making a music video. So when MTV launched, British bands like Duran Duran, Spandau Ballet and the Culture Club were completely ready to embrace music television.
The Black Issue.
I'd like to ask you something. All right. It occurred to me, having watched MTV over the last few months, that it's a solid enterprise, and it's got a lot going for it. I'm just floored by the fact that there's so few black artists featured on it. Why is that?
Despite the massive amount of amazing black musicians in the early 80s, MTV wasn't really playing them. There was a thought that the average white viewer wouldn't be able to embrace it.
The very kinky girl.
I just can't relate. The first black group to appear in these early days were the Specials, presumably because there was a couple of whiteys in the band. Now this I can somewhat relate to. Somewhat. The excuse MTV used was that they were a rock station. They were turning down videos like Super Freak by Rick James because it didn't fit their format.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Enter Michael Jackson.
NBC produced a program called Motown 25, which was a televised special celebration of the creation of the famous record label. On it, Jackson performed his new song Billie Jean, complete with the moonwalk. After that performance, Michael Jackson was selling 1 million copies a week. But MTV still weren't playing him. The head of CBS Records had finally had enough and said the colour barrier had to be broken. He held back any music from CBS to be played on MTV unless they started playing Billie Jean. It was eventually added to medium rotation after it hit #1 on the Billboard charts. The bare minimum. By March, it went into heavy rotation. Same as the COVID. After the release of Beat It, MTV completely caved in and went all in on Michael Jackson. They eventually saw the benefit of having the biggest fucking musical phenomenon ever appearing on their channel. This opened the floodgates for artists like Prince, Donna Summer and Lionel Richie.
Tell me what you think of it.
Ugh. When the video for Thriller came out, it completely changed the way music videos were approached and made. What used to be based on performances could now be a short film.
MTV Evolved.
Heading into the mid-90s, the play of music videos started to drop big time. Between 1995 and 2000, music videos were played 36.5% less. The advent of reality television switched the focus on MTV with shows like The Osbournes, Pimp My Ride and Punk'd. Music videos created a way that artists could connect with their fans and evolved into a brand new art form. With the right music video, a song could reach epic status and spread amongst the masses. Same as the COVID.
Mom has more energy for housework.
My kitchen is spotless. And so are the glasses.
And Dad got a raise at the car wash. They made me head wiper. When you plug into MTV, you plug into a brighter tomorrow.